Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. In this video, we will write the program to rotate our game objects. So by the end of this video, we will rotate the earth, top plane, top clouds, bottom plane and bottom clouds in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. So let's start with the programming. Inside the hierarchy, as you can see, we have 6 game objects inside this cylinder target component, and out of these 6 game objects, we will rotate 5 game objects, that is the bottom clouds, top plane, top clouds, bottom plane and the low poly earth. Now we will rotate all these game objects along the y-axis, okay? So first I'll rotate the earth game object in anti-clockwise direction. Next, I will rotate the top plane and the bottom clouds game object in clockwise direction. After this, I'll rotate the top clouds and the bottom plane game object in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Now, you can rotate these game objects in any direction you want. But the reason why I'm rotating, or the reason why I'm moving the top plane game object in clockwise direction is because in the clockwise direction, this top plane will move in the forward direction, and in the anti-clockwise direction, this bottom plane will basically move in its forward direction. So for rotating these 5 game objects, I'll first open data files. Inside data files, I'll create a new folder. I'll give this folder a name of scripts. I'll open the scripts folder, and inside the scripts folder, I'll create a new C# script. Okay, so I'll select the C# script. I'll give the script a name of rotate script. Okay, and I'll open the rotate script. Inside the rotate script, I'll first declare an integer variable called y direction. Okay. Now the reason why we have created this y direction variable is because we are going to rotate the planes and the cloud game objects along the y-axis. And if you look very carefully, I've made this variable public so that we can change the y direction value directly from the inspector panel. Next, inside the void update function, I'll write the program for rotation. So I'll write down transform.rotate. I'll then open and close round brackets, and inside this round brackets I'll write down new vector 3. Okay, and inside this vector 3 command we have to put x, y and z values. Okay, so I'll set the x value to 0 as we are not going to rotate the game objects along the x direction. Okay, I'll set the y value to y direction. I'll put a comma and I'll set the z value to 0 again. Okay, and at the end I'll multiply this vector 3 command with time.delta time. So I basically finished with the code. So I'll save the script, and after this I'll minimize monodevelop. I'll first attach this rotate script to the low poly earth game object. Okay, so if I click on the low poly earth, then as you can see the rotate script is attached to it. Okay, and currently the y direction has a value of 0. Okay, now since we want to rotate this earth game object in the anti-clockwise direction, okay, so in place of 0 I'll write down -30, and the reason why I've put a minus sign is because I want to rotate this game object in the anti-clockwise direction. So after setting the y direction value, next I'll click on the play button, and now as you can see the low poly earth is rotating on top of my cylinder. Okay, so I'll come out of play mode. After rotating the earth game object, next we will use the rotate script to rotate the clouds and the planes. Okay, so first let's rotate the top plane and the bottom clouds in the clockwise direction, and for rotating them in clockwise direction I'll create an empty game object called clockwise, and I'll place the clockwise empty game object in the center of the cylinder. I will then attach the rotate script to the clockwise empty game object, and I'll make the top plane and the bottom clouds a child of this empty game object. Now, since I have attached the rotate script to this clockwise empty game object, when the clockwise empty game object rotates, the top plane and the bottom clouds will also rotate with it, as the top plane and the bottom clouds are child of this game object. Similarly, we will create another empty game object called anti-clockwise, and using the anti-clockwise empty game object, we will rotate the bottom plane and the top clouds in anti-clockwise direction using the same technique. So after explaining you the rotation logic of these 4 game objects, next I'll click on the create button and I'll create an empty game object. I'll give this empty game object a name of clockwise. I'll press enter. I'll then attach the rotate script to this clockwise empty game object. Okay, I'll then select the clockwise empty game object and I'll change the y direction value to +30. After creating the clockwise empty game object, I'll change its x value to 0. I'll leave the y value to 8.72 and I'll change the z value also to 0. And the reason why I've kept the clockwise empty game object at a position of 0, 8.72 and 0 is because at a position of 0 and 0 along the x and the z axis, the clockwise empty game object is exactly in the center of the cylinder, okay, and with a value of 8.72 along the y-axis, the clockwise game object is at a height of 8.72 along the cylinder, okay. And if suppose I select the clockwise empty game object and if I move this empty game object on the top, then as you can see, the total height of the cylinder is approximately around, okay, so if I move this on top, then the total height of the cylinder is 24, okay, because if I click on the cylinder target, then as you can see, the y scale of the cylinder is 24. So guys, you can keep the clockwise or the anti-clockwise game object anywhere between 0 to 24 along the y-axis, okay, but you have to keep the clockwise and the anti-clockwise game object at a position of 0 and 0 along the x and the z axis. So after explaining you the axis logic, next I'll select the clockwise game object and I'll click on Ctrl T to duplicate the clockwise game object, okay. And now as you can see, we have this new empty game object called clockwise1. So I'll rename this clockwise1 game object to anti-clockwise. And as you can see, the anti-clockwise game object is again at a position of 0, 23.73 and 0, okay. So I'll select the anti-clockwise game object and I'll just bring it a little down along the y-axis, okay. So the clockwise is at a position of 23.73 along the y-axis and the anti-clockwise is at a position of 19.2, okay. Next I'll select the bottom cloud, top plane, top clouds and the bottom plane game object and I'll move them out of the cylinder target. Next, since I want to rotate the top plane and the bottom clouds in the clockwise direction, I'll select the top plane. After this I'll select the bottom clouds and I'll make them a child of the clockwise empty game object, okay. Next I'll select the clockwise empty game object and I'll move it inside the cylinder target, okay. So next if I click on the play button, then as you can see, the top plane and the bottom clouds are moving in the clockwise direction, okay, and the earth as usual is moving in anti-clockwise direction, okay. So I'll come out of play mode. After this I'll select the top cloud and the bottom plane and I'll make it a child of the anti-clockwise empty game object. I'll select the anti-clockwise game object, okay, and I'll change its y direction to -30, okay, as the minus sign will basically rotate these two game objects in anti-clockwise direction. So after changing the y direction to -30, next I'll select the anti-clockwise game object and I'll make it a child of the cylinder target. I'll save my scene and next I'll click on the play button. And now as you can see, the top clouds and the bottom plane are moving in anti-clockwise direction, okay. So to conclude, the earth is moving in anti-clockwise direction, the top plane is moving in clockwise direction, the top clouds are moving in anti-clockwise direction, the bottom plane is also moving in anti-clockwise direction. Below the bottom plane we have the bottom clouds. The bottom cloud is moving in clockwise direction and at the bottom we have this terrain asset, okay. So to conclude, the earth, plane and the cloud game objects are properly rotating around the cylinder target. So guys, that's it from this video, and in the next video we will build this AR cylindrical target project and we will run it inside an Android smartphone or an iPhone.